So MongoDB CRUD operations. So CRUD operations are nothing but the create, read, update, and delete operations. Normally, what we can perform on the RDBMS software. So the same operations that we can do on the MongoDB databases also. So create, read, update, and delete. So whenever any resource is being created in the database, so that comes under the create. Any selection operation is there, that is coming under the read, and update query, normally it is associated with the update, and finally the delete one. So these are the CRUD operations that we generally see in the RDBMS software. So this is available in the MongoDB also. So MongoDB CRUD operations, the create, read, update, and delete operations are the basic interactions that we perform with the database. So if you take any database, normally these are the operations that you want to have as part of the database management. Okay, so sometimes you may be writing the data into the database, then you may be updating the data, sometimes you may be deleting the data. So all these are the part and parcel of managing the database from your application. Then to execute the CRUD operations over your database entities, MongoDB provides various collection methods. So there are some different collection methods they have offered, and using those methods, we can do the CRUD operations easily on the database documents in the MongoDB. So under the create, we can see this is the database name. Okay, so this is not actually, the DB is by default associated with whatever you are actually activated that database in the MongoDB. So we will see that in the demonstration. So whenever you are using a particular database, that particular database is actually associated with this object DB. Then collection is your table name. So in this collection, you can insert by using this particular format. Not only that, you can save the information because we are using the document format. Sometimes you can use this save method also to create any resource on the database. Similarly, we can update the information also in the data table. These are the syntaxes. You have to provide the query. Then you can enable upset is equal to true. That means if the resource is not available, it is going to be inserted. If the resource is available, then it is going to update this. So that comes under the create. Then under the read method, under the read operation, we can find the query using some criteria. So the projection means the criteria. Select star frame from this particular table where something is equal to something. So that is called as projection or criteria. So that can be easily find using this particular method. Then similarly, if you want to retrieve only a single row or document, then in that case, we can use this find one method. So find one method is also having the same parameters, query and projection. Then update is having the update method. Same options are there, query, update, and some optional parameters that you want to pass on. Then delete, remove method is called, query is there, and it can only delete a single document. Okay, so just we need to be cautious while deleting the documents, like in the case of the RDBMS software. So create, read, update, and delete operations are supported, and all these are nothing but the methods you have to call on any given table. So the collection is not nothing but a table in the MongoDB context. So collection is whatever the name of your document. Okay, so
MongoDB data model is we can see the collections. Your collection is nothing but your actually table. So this collection is actually containing documents. So this is document number 1, this is document number 2, and this is document number 3, and all these are actually called as collections. So you can have some 10 million documents associated with a single collection. Okay, so in that way, all these are nothing but the JSON documents, actually the BSON formats. So BSON documents you are having in your collection, and some collections make up the database. So in that way we are having the data model. Then structure of the JSON document, we already know about this. So this is the key value and this is the pair. So key value pairs, this is the value. So key value pairs are there, and if it is a string, it should be given with the double quotes. If it is an integer, it need not be given in a double quote. So similarly, you can provide the boolean and any other information wrapped in the string. And not only that, you can have your arrays also. So this is one array, and this array again contain some different fields. So this also can happen. So MongoDB data model, embedded documents. So embedded means a particular field may contain inner objects. So this is our one inner object. So this inner object may contain one or more nested internal objects also. So in that way we can have the embedded sub documents available for your MongoDB, and this is what your primary key, and every document is going to be have with a uniquely identified object ID. So it is going to be automatically given by the MongoDB. So this is the primary key. Then reference documents or linking documents. So how we can map up the things like we do for the RDBMS software. So in the case of foreign key constraints, primary key constraints, so the same can be implemented by using this object ID, where we are going to map up the things like by providing the object ID of a different document. So this is the object ID that we are accessing from the second document. So in that way, these three documents are interlinked. So this is the same concept like we have seen with the foreign key concept in the RDBMS implementations. So whenever there is any related documents that you cannot maintain in a single document, so MongoDB naturally if the data is not much more than some 5 to 6 tables of information in the related context of the RDBMS, then what we can do is we can put all these information in the single document, but sometimes it is not possible. Sometimes the data is not that much like you can put in a single document, and it is having its own sense. So in that way, we should be having a separate document. Then how to connect them in those kind of scenarios is like putting up this underscore underscore ID as a foreign key constraint in the second document. So in that way, we are referencing the documents and the MongoDB data model. Then MongoDB queries. If we want to do the create operations, so under the CRUD operation, if we want to create any resource, there are some resources that are supported, that are some methods that are supported. So we can see there is a collection name. This collection name can be anything like students, some company, some organization, the name of the table or the name of the collection you have to mention here. Then this is the method where we have to call for inserting this data. Okay, so this is completely unstructured data, so you don't have to comply with the schemas, because MongoDB, we don't have any particular schemas that are associated. You provide anything, even though if you are writing name Sudhi, that's enough, or if you are taking some 100 fields, that is also fine. Okay, so in that way it is completely flexible. So only thing is you have to send with that proper BSON format. So braces, then key value pairs are to be given in the insert method as parameter. So this parameter is nothing but the BSON or the JSON looking like a document. So this JSON kind of format you have to provide in the insert method. Then how to find whether it is properly saved or not? You can call this query find, and pretty means it is simply beautifying the JSON in a neatly in an aligned format. So that is what the pretty actually does. Okay, otherwise you can simply call with the find also. Okay, so the collection name dot find will be giving back you with the entire result, whichever it is like matching with that criteria. Then here we can see there is no criteria as such given. So that's why it is going to give all the documents. Here we have not given any parameter in the find method. So that's why it is going to fetch all the records available in this collection. Okay. Otherwise, you can provide some conditions or the criteria where gender is equal to this or age less than 20. So these are the criteria that we can have so that we can have the filtered result set into the from the MongoDB database. Okay, so this is working exactly like where condition. Okay, so where condition in the normal SQL operations, where gender is equal to female and age greater than less than 20. So this is how you have to write in the normal SQL command. But here we are going to provide in the format of a criteria. So starting the criteria with curly braces, then provide the key value pairs. If multiple criteria are there, you have to separate them with a comma. And again, pretty is only for showing up the things in a beautiful way. Then inserting a new user is looking like this in the SQL operation. Insert into users. This is the table name. And here we need to mention the columns. And here goes the values. Okay, so these respective columns will be taking the corresponding values. But in the case of the MongoDB, insert method is there. But this method is going to take one JSON format. So this JSON format will be having the key value pairs separated by the commas. So this is how we can make up the things for the insert operation. So continuing that, we can see here one insert operation is being made. Name is equal to some Sue, age is equal to 26, status is equal to A, groups are some array, news and sports. So this particular document, this is nothing but a JSON document. Okay, so for the MongoDB it is a BSEN document. So this BSEN document is going to be inserted and all these are coming under this particular collection. So you are ultimately making your collection, and it should not be like that it is complying with the schema. It is, even though in this example it is appearing that for every document we are having the name, age, but some documents may completely missing out this information also if they are not mandatory. Okay, so it is not completely similar for all the rows as it is represented in this diagram. So it can be something like one row can be very big, one row can be very small, another row can be somewhat middle. So in that way the collections can be something looking like this. So it actually depends on your information, how the information is actually being stored. And this is how we can make up the things by using the insert operation. Then coming to the second one, that is read operations. So read operations are generally called by using the find method simply. So without any filter, if you are applying that find method, then you have to call this in this way. And additionally, if you want to provide any condition, suppose you need to filter by the email addresses or by the company name, so then you can find out by providing a filter in the curly braces. So how to do that? So here we can see the example. There is a collection name that is called as users and find is the method. Here we are starting the filter, we can see. So the curly braces are getting started and it is being ended here. In this curly braces, we have to provide our criteria. So what is the criteria? Age is a column, and wherever age is equal to greater than 18. So the criteria, we can see again the criteria is the value of the criteria age is opening up with curly brace, and dollar greater than is for the symbol like this, and dollar $LT is representing like this. Okay, so 18, it is going to be taken as age less than greater than 18. So this is the query that we can parallelly have in the SQL command. And finally, out of that particular result, we are sorting that information also on the age. Okay, so in an ascending order, So finally the result is being shown after this particular filter is completed. So initially the data will be looking like this, you can see, and query, after query firing, it will only be taking the data whichever is greater than 18. So in which we cannot see the 18th row. So this is not available. Again, this row is not also available. So in that way, the filtered row set is actually fetched in the initial operation. Then upon that result set, the modifier, that is nothing but the sort operation as per the given condition. So the condition is age colon 1, that means ascending order. Age colon 0 means descending order, or -1 you can say. So this is going to apply that sorting feature on that result set. So accordingly, this is the final result that MongoDB is giving back to you after firing this particular query. Okay. Then comes with the update operation. After read and create, we are going to see the update operation. So update operation is actually has this parameters. First one is select criteria you need to mention, then updated data. Okay, so first of all we need to find out the information which is matching with this criteria: name colon Sudhir. So wherever there is a Sudhir matching name in the name column, then accordingly in that particular document field it is going to be updated as age is equal to 20. Okay, so for that we need to take this keyword $set. So $set is the keyword for updating the operation, and they are actually separated by a comma. So select criteria, first of all you have to provide, because you don't want to update the entire database or the entire collection. Okay, so what is required is you need to provide a selection criteria. So this selection criteria we are going to be updated by providing our where condition. So this is our where condition. And this is our set value age is equal to 20, something like that. Okay, so in that way the update command can be fired in MongoDB. And not only that, we can replace the existing document with new one. Okay, so wherever there is any existing document, we can entirely save the all part of the fields by providing the object ID. So this is the primary key, and whatever the information for all the fields that you want to mention, you can provide in a comma based CSV kind of format, and this is going to be saved for that entire collection. And what is the uniqueness in this is it doesn't require $set. Okay, so this case we don't require the $set. In the normal update operations we need to provide the $set operation, like this example. Okay, so whenever you want to have multiple columns that should be updated, you can simply take the object ID and accordingly provide the modified values. Accordingly they are going to be updated in the given collection. So what is the name of the collection? The name of the collection is students. Okay, so that means we have this update method, or we can have this save method also. So save is also a kind of update where it is going to be identified a particular collection by using this object ID as the primary key. So we can see the example in both of the cases. One is the SQL command. So SQL command we have update users set status is equal to A where age greater than 80. The same thing we can see in this format: update users age this is the where condition. So where age is greater than 18, and what should be done with that? We need to set up with this new information A in the given status field. Okay, so multi-true means whether multiple documents should be updated. If it is matching with the multiple documents, whether it should be enabled or not, we can say by providing this additional attribute multi-true. So otherwise it is going to update a single document because by default multi is false. Okay, so whenever you are doing the update operation, the multi is false. Only the first available resource is going to be updated with the status is equal to A. So that is how we can update the information in the MongoDB. Then finally delete operations. So we can drop the databases, we can drop a collection, or we can simply delete a document. So there are three kinds of removal of if your information. First one is the simple one, the document. So DB, the name of the collection, call this method remove and provide the criteria. So what is the criteria? Wherever the gender is equal to male, it is going to be removed from that collection. Then if you want to remove the collection itself, then what you have to do? You have to name the collection. Then drop is the method that we need to call. So drop is a schema modifying method. So that's why the drop is applicable only on the collection, whereas remove is applicable on the documents. Okay, so the drop is available on the collection, remove is available on the document. So in that way, these two are completely different. They are separate. And in some cases where you want to remove the entire database means you may be having some 10 collections. In that 10 collections, some 10,000 records are there, 10,000 documents are there. So that entire collection you want to remove, then a single approach is to simply drop the database by calling this method drop database. So this is the DB which is currently in use. Then db.drop database you need to call. Accordingly, the database is going to be removed. But first of all, you have to there will be some errors which are giving. Suppose if there are multiple collections, so first it will ask to remove the collections. So after removing the collections only, the drop database will be fired. So in that way, some kind of security is given, because MongoDB is not perfect ACID compliant candidate. So that's why some kind of steps are given. So whenever you are going to drop a database, first of all you need to remove the collection, and then accordingly drop database can be fired in the database. So CRUD operations like delete from users where status is equal to D. So the same thing we can apply in MongoDB, like users.remove. Remove is the method, and you have to provide the criteria in this way. It is very simple to understand. Anything, the criteria will come into this curly braces only. Accordingly, you have to provide the criteria, and respective method will be doing that same thing on that given collection. Then so finally you will be having the documents looking like this. So this is the collection. The collection is the name of the collection is the users. You will be having the documents which are lined up in this way. Okay, and some parallel SQL commands with this MongoDB implementation we will try to understand. Okay, so how to create a table in the SQL based operations? Create table users and provide the schema in this way, and whereas you need to call this method create collection. And what is this? This is the table. So my call 1, my call 2, something like that, or my call or my table, something like that you can put. So create collection will be creating a collection with whatever the name that you have given. So at the creation time itself, we have to provide the name of the collection, and accordingly it will be creating that collection into the MongoDB database. Okay, so there is no alter table command. We can see this is going to be implicitly accepted by the MongoDB. So you can simply, because this is not a rigid format we are having in the MongoDB. So that's why there is no alter command which is required otherwise in the RDBMS software. So that's why there is no alter command available in the MongoDB. Then insert operation. insert into users, these are the values. So how to do that? db.users is the collection, insert is the method, and provide the values. Wherever is the field, a colon 3, b colon 5, c colon 7. So in that way you can provide the values. Then creating the indexing. So you have to manually create the index, create index with that index name on the table name on this particular field. Okay, so whereas we are need to apply this method called as ensure index with the criteria name colon 1. So that means name is now activated for providing the indexing services. Name colon 1 means name is going to be selected for providing the indexing services. You can have couple of more values also separated by comma. So name colon 1, then age colon something like that you can take for enabling the indexing on this users table or users collection. Then select, this is the select command. So we need to use this find method, and so this find method is going to be retrieved the data. There is some difference that is shown here, how to select individual columns, because your users table may be containing some 15 columns. So only 2 columns you are right now interested to fetch with the data. So they can be provided in this way. Find, so this is the empty criteria, but what columns you need to select, so that you are going to provide in this way, a colon 1, b colon 1. So only a and b are going to be fetched, even though it is existing with c, d, e, f, g, h. And otherwise if you are applying the star, then in that case find method is going to be simplifying the things, so where you are going to get all the columns coming from your collections. Okay, then where condition, how to use in the select command. This is the normal SQL operation. Select star from users where age is equal to 33. But in this case, you have to provide this criteria in the find method as part of the criteria. Similarly, only select the a comma b where a is equal to 33, and you need to take a is equal to 33 is the criteria like we have seen here. So this is the criteria. This particular criteria is going to be matched up by selecting only 2 columns for the final result set. So these are how it has been converted into the MongoDB DB queries. Then how to implement the sorting feature? Here in this case, we are going to use this clause order by. So this is the clause we need to set up with the setup in the select command. But whereas in the MongoDB, you can simply call the method sort and provide the column name. So this is the column name or the field name, and whether it is ascending or descending, you are going to say by putting the values of 1 or -1. So in that way, we are having some minor manipulations when you compare with that SQL operations, and it's very tidy, and it's very lesser syntax it is having in the MongoDB. It's providing very brevity in the code itself, and everything is easily understandable once you're coming into the pattern of how to use these database commands. Then more examples on this. Select star from users where z is equal to 3. Explain, it is going to define all the features in this particular command. Then update the users, you need to mention this update method. This is the criteria, selection criteria, and what you need to update with, that you have to provide with this $set parameter. Okay, so wherever there is a b is equal to q, then it is going to be updated as a is equal to 1. Okay, so in that way we can set up with the things. Then so false and true are actually for updating for multiple documents. So these are operational things. So once you get going into the MongoDB, you will come to the whatever the false and true means and where it is exactly being used. Okay, so all these we can see uh, in the commands. Then delete. For the delete, we simply use the remove, and this is the selection criteria. So wherever there is Z is equal to ABC is matching, then they are going to be removed. And again, it is going to remove only a single document, unless otherwise you are going to set as multi-colon true. So multi-colon true means all the complying, all the matching documents are going to be deleted if it is satisfying with Z is equal to ABC.